Thursdays, where we are going to be having wisdom talks and meditation with myself, Jagannath, and Acyuta Gopi. And today's a very special day. It's the appearance day of a very amazing personality. And his name is Lord Nityananda. So we're going to be talking about him, talking about his qualities and how we can connect. Because at the end of the day, there's the power of prayer. So to help us increase our prayer, our meditation, how can we connect with certain personalities? So thank you for joining, Acyuta Gopi. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's one of my favorite days, so I'm happy.
You're also wearing blue. Lord Nityananda's color. Check you out.
I had to.
No, I just want to everybody that's on there. If you've been joining in with all the festivities, then type up yes, I've been, or just write with a thumbs up. Or if you haven't and you'd like to know more, then also say yes and put a thumbs up. We would like to see what everybody's been doing. How's it been going? And also, what is new for you? So before we go into asking what's new for yourselves, I want to just check with Acyuta Gopi. And today we've been bombarded with so many different programs going on. So before we go into other programs that are going on about Lord Nityananda and our program today, what programs have you been doing, Acyuta Gopi, recently?
My goodness. There have been all kinds of online programs, but I'm happy about them because it makes me feel like I'm not so removed from community. There's been online program after online program, which just can help us feel more connected. So if we want the association, if we're yearning for our friends, there's always a way to be able to reach out to them and connect with them and speak with them about all of these festivals happening.
Yes, and I think today I've even though the lockdown is here, even though everybody is in different places, I felt really connected today, because it was like in the morning, I thought, yeah, I'll go to Mayapur, join the festival there. Then later on, oh, Bhaktivedanta Manor in London, and then afterwards I thought, oh, now I'm going to go to Eka Chakra Dham. If anybody doesn't know where that is, just let me know. We'll tell you all about it. And it was just like such a great festivity. And I've just come off that. And it's been nice because you're working, you're doing your things, you're also listening in. So it just felt like everything's been spiritualized today. And it's been really nice. So
and no traffic.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, no traffic. There is some benefits, some perks to this lockdown season. Just now to come on to it, Lord Nityananda. What's the deal? What's the deal?
Yeah, what is the deal, isn't it? They say that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we have Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who I'm sure we'll be talking about in March.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So coming up soon. Right? Our big drum roll. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of course, they say is Krishna himself. But what happens when the divine has the overwhelming desire to be of service completely, wholly, just in any way, shape, or form? Then the divine expands. They say the divine expands, and this expansion of complete service, this yearning to be of service, this yearning of compassionate kindness, just giving mercy. This is Lord Nityananda. So, is the divine, but the divine server.
Wow, yeah, just to make it more complicated. Not that we like to complex things here, everybody. But is the divine, but he's also the server of the divine.
Yeah.
So that's actually you know, there must be a backstory here. There must be something, and we'll go into that. Why it come to that stage? But actually, I was realizing one thing. We talk about, and some of you on the sessions have been talking about gurus, and we talked about our gurus and etc. And guess what? Everybody, all gurus that we have, actually, we are connecting back to the ultimate guru, and that is Nityananda Mahaprabhu himself. This is the actual essence here. So everything we are learning, everything we are doing, it's coming from him, you know, sanctioned by the divine. So it's actually amazing. I was just reflecting on that, the Acyuta Gopi, today. I was just like, I was feeling very blessed and thankful that we have such amazing gurus in our lives. And if it wasn't for Lord Nityananda, we wouldn't have that. So that was just something I was really today being very, very thankful for. And while we go to Acyuta Gopi, just to comment on that, I just want everybody to, you know, put your thoughts, your realizations. We want to hear about you. If you don't know who Lord Nityananda is, please write it in the comments. There's, you know, we'll go through that with you as well. So any questions you have, let's have it open forum. Please put that. So yeah, just what I was just saying about the realization. What realizations for you today have come?
And you know, our spiritual teachers mean so much to us. Not only is Lord Nityananda the basis for all of the potency, the magic that comes from our spiritual teachers, but also any capacity that we have within our hearts for service, any yearning to be of service to the divine that comes up within our hearts also comes from the potency and the magic of Lord Nityananda.
Wow.
So how amazing is that? Just not just any spiritual learning that we receive or guidance that we receive from our teachers, but all of the miracle of service in our lives. That desire for service, which is like the foundation of our spiritual lives, the foundation of us being good living entities in general. All of that comes from Lord Nityananda.
So everybody, this is a spiritual life hack. You may be thinking to yourselves, my God, how do I get a guru? How will that path come realized to me? Well, here's the spiritual life hack. Just meditate on Lord Nityananda. You know, pray to Lord Nityananda that may I be connected. And I tell you now, on this day, if you do that, amazing things will happen. I really feel so strong about this because I've seen it happen to so many people. So this is the power of Lord Nityananda. Please do check it out. Try just a heartfelt prayer, that I want to connect more to this path that you are connecting to. And the divine Lord Nityananda will, I'm sure, help on that. And just to talk about a few things about Lord Nityananda himself. I've just seen Paras Singhal 21 on our Insta channel. He said, because we're saying about if you've been meditating or something, he goes, yes, I was meditating on Jagai and Madai pastime. Oh, Lord Nitai's mercy. So yeah, just for those that are not aware of Jagai Madai pastime, and this as well shows the magnanimity of Lord Nityananda, and of course Lord Chaitanya, but especially Lord Nityananda on this pastime. Would you like to explain this one, please?
So funny, I was just thinking about pastimes that we would dive into. And that one, it literally just came up in my mind, and then Maddie already wrote. So yeah, Lord Nityananda is manifesting however he wants to manifest. So Lord Nityananda is such an interesting personality. He's humorous. He's mischievous. He's quite often said to be in the mood of a cowherd boy. So he's playful, but he's very extravagant. So he would walk through the town of Navadvip, through Nadia, and he would sing kirtan, this mantra meditation that we can sometimes take for granted now, right? That we think, oh, we sing this Maha mantra, we sing whatever mantra we want, we go to yoga music festival, we do it. None of that would have happened without Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. Prior to, these mantras were kept locked up within the temples, only to be chanted by the most elevated of Brahmin priests, not even like lower tier priests, right? You had to be the most elevated Brahmin priests in order to chant these mantras. Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda decided, no more. We're taking this literally to the streets, all the streets. Go, chant it out as far and as wide as you can. There is a really short story within a story of a South Indian teacher, Ramanujacharya. And he got a special mantra from his guru. And his guru said, I'll give you this mantra. This mantra holds the mysteries of the universe. It can unlock the keys to happiness. It is the best welfare for anyone, anywhere, at any time. He gives him the mantra. And then Ramanujacharya is walking through the marketplace, through the streets of South India, and he sees there's so many people. They're hungry, they're thirsty, they're in so many miseries. Some people are poor, some people are rich, but everybody is enmeshed in all of these miseries. And he sees them all and he says, how can I help everyone all at once? And he thinks there is a yearning here that goes deeper than any material lacking. There is a spiritual yearning. That spiritual yearning is the only thing that is going to be able to help all of these people all at once. My guru gave me that thing, which is the treasure, the real wealth that everyone is searching for. He says, now, my guru told me I shouldn't tell this mantra to anyone, but the only thing I can think of to help all of these people, see, there's that desire for service, right? He says, the only thing I can think of to help all of these people is this mantra. So he goes to the rooftops. And from the rooftops, he starts speaking. All of you people, listen closely. I have the thing that you're really searching for. And he begins shouting his mantra from the rooftops. His guru gets extremely angry with him. He says, you fool, what have you done? I've given you the greatest treasure and you've given it freely away to everyone. He says, if I had to dwell in hell for committing this offense, I would gladly do so. But all I could think of was somehow being compassionate to all of these people. You told me that this mantra is the key to happiness. I have to give this happiness to everyone. So that was Ramanujacharya. Then fast forward, because Ramanujacharya was centuries before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yes. So now we have Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda. They've once again taken these mantras out of the temple, taking them to the streets and now giving them freely to everyone, saying, I understand. You are in an ocean of miseries. Everything will come in this world. Obstacles will come left and right. But if you give yourself over to the chanting of this mantra, somehow or other, your life will change. We promise. So Lord Nityananda was chanting this mantra, going through the streets. And all of a sudden, there are these two cousin brothers. They used to be Brahmins named Jagadananda and Madhavananda. But because of their misdeeds, they began stealing, drinking, plundering, murdering, all kinds of things. They were abusing women. They were everything that you could check off on your list of things not to do. They had done it. But they had not yet committed a grave offense toward a Vaishnav per se. So they had just a little bit of leeway. And through all of their misdeeds, they had lost their names Jagadananda and Madhavananda. Now they were just Jagai and Madai. And everyone in the town of Nadia knew when you see them, you run, you go home, you close the door, you go into a tap, you go anywhere you can to get safe because they leave no one alone. Nityananda, along with Haridas, who we spoke about in our last session with Advaita. So Nityananda, along with Haridas, they see these two. Haridas says, everyone is running in the opposite direction. Maybe we should also go in the opposite direction. Nityananda, who is also called Nitai for short, says, no, let's go preach to them. Haridas says, are you crazy? This seems like a horrible idea. Nitai says, you're right, I am a little crazy. But it's only from associating with your crazy Mahaprabhu. His love for Krishna has made me crazy. Let's go preach to them. Haridas says, okay, fine. They go, they try to talk to these two Jagai Madai. And Jagai Madai begin cursing at them, saying all kinds of foul things, blaspheming them. Who are you? Oh, I've seen you dancing around. But these Vaishnavas, what do we care about them? Then Jagai Madai begin to chase Nitai and Haridas. And they're running, and Haridas is now arguing with Nitai. You know, Nitai, I told you this was a horrible idea. I've survived so many things. I've survived beatings in 22 marketplaces. I've survived attempts on my life. But now today, I think I might be killed because of you and this amazing plan that you had. Nitai laughs and they run all the way back to Mahaprabhu. Haridas says, please don't send me out again with this Nitai. He's a crazy person. But Mahaprabhu is so enlivened. And Nitai thinks, if we can get these two, the lowest of the low, to chant the holy names, if we can get them to experience love of God and such a transformation, imagine what kind of glory that would give to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is Nitai. Just thinking, imagine how much people would think of Mahaprabhu then. They would think, they got those two, Jagai and Madai, to chant the holy names. We must do the same thing. Because if their lives could be transformed, that's a miracle. Hands down, everybody will know. There will be no questions about it. The next day, Nitai suggests that they go back and preach to them again. Haridas is wholly against it. But with Haridas and Nitai comes a small group of devotees, and they all go with them again, performing the loud Sankirtan of the holy name throughout the streets of Navadvip. They go heading right in the direction of Jagai and Madai. Jagai and Madai get extremely agitated. Now this next day, they are more vehemently arguing with these Vaishnavas. They are threatening them, all kinds of things. Finally, Madai, being so overtaken by this aggression towards Lord Nityananda, just chanting the holy names, he picks up a vase. Now, we hear clay pot, right? We hear a vase. But if you've ever studied like Greek and Roman history, if you know of an amphora, it's a huge vase, like half the size of a person. So what Madai picked up was one of these huge vases, not something small, it's huge. And he picks up this vase and he hurls it at Nitai. This vase happens to like hit things and smash along the way, and it hits Nitai in the head. Nitai stumbles and he clutches his hand to his head. And all of the devotees now are in an uproar. They don't know what to do. They don't know which direction to go. All they know is they want to go run to Mahaprabhu. Some devotees are crying out, Nrsinga, Nrsinga, for protection. They're quickly crying out to the Lord Nrsingadev, the great protector of the devotees, thinking, how could this possibly have happened? Lord Nityananda has now grabbed his forehead, which is now bleeding profusely. And if you've ever had a head wound, they bleed the most.
Yeah.
Right? So head wounds tend to bleed the most profusely. So now he's bleeding, and now he's gotten his cloth and he's catching it to his head, and the devotees are also catching it. It is said that because Lord Nityananda is none other than Balaram, had his blood touched the earth, there would have been a complete devastation. This is the Lord who upholds all of the earth and the universes. Had his blood actually touched the earth, there would have been complete devastation. So now he's holding. There's blood everywhere, but not yet touching the earth. Everybody's gathering around. And Lord Nityananda says, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you've hit me. I simply ask that you chant these holy names. If that's the price that I pay, so be it. Just chant the holy names of Lord Sri Krishna. Just chant the holy names. Just one time chant Hari Bol and I'll excuse everything. Do whatever you need to do, no problem. The devotees have called upon Mahaprabhu. They've told him what has happened. Now Mahaprabhu is exhibiting a form never before seen. Mahaprabhu is usually filled with love, trembling with ecstasy, swaying from side to side, constantly in love with the holy name. But now, this Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is angry. He comes storming towards this Jagai and Madai, his hand upraised, calling for chakra, chakra. As if in a video game, the sky gets dark. Right? There's darkness all around. Everyone is enveloped in the darkness that they've never seen before. And a bright, huge light is coming from everywhere and nowhere all at once. And they see, beginning to descend and manifest, is the Sudarshan Chakra of Sri Krishna, which can annihilate everyone. And Lord Chaitanya is standing with his hand upraised, yelling, "You have dared to hit my Nitai? I will destroy all of you at once right this moment. I've come to reestablish religion and to annihilate miscreants. You two are the lowest of miscreants." Now Lord Nityananda is grabbing at Mahaprabhu anywhere he can. "Oh, my Lord, stop. This is not the reason why you've come. This time you said you wouldn't kill anyone. This time you promised. This time you just promised that you would deliver everyone, no matter how fallen. Well, these two are the most fallen. They deserve your mercy over and above everyone else. If there's anything you want to do for me, just deliver them. I forgive them. Don't worry." Mahaprabhu, out of the haze of his anger, he's now looking at Nitai. And Nitai has no malice, no regret, nothing but absolute love and compassion and mercy in his eyes. Finally, Lord Chaitanya says, "You, Jagai, you can be delivered. You chant the holy name. You'll be fine. But you, Madai, never in a million years could I ever pardon you. You have hit my Nitai." Madai says, but Jagai is my brother, so whatever you've given to him, you should give to me. He says, "No, you have hit my Nitai. There is nothing in this entire world which can deliver you." Madai immediately falls at the feet of Lord Nityananda. He says, "Oh, my Lord, I can't believe that I've committed such a grievous offense toward you. If you have mercy upon me, then that is the only possible way that my life can be saved. Otherwise, my entire existence is forfeit." Lord Nityananda picks up Madai, the one who abused him physically, verbally, mentally, and he embraces him. He says, "Madai, it doesn't matter. You chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You chant these holy names of Lord Hari. Give up all of your bad activities. Promise me that from this day, you will take this holy name into your heart with nothing else but the holy name living there. And I will make sure that you are delivered from this day forward." Madai promises, "From this day forth, I promise. Oh, my Lord, I promise. My life is yours. My life is now dedicated to your service." From that moment, Lord Nityananda embraces Madai. Jagai and Madai begin to chant the holy name. And from that chanting of the holy name, Lord Chaitanya does something quite astonishing. He takes on all of the sins of Jagai and Madai to show the effect of chanting Hare Krishna. All of the sins of Jagai and Madai immediately flee from their bodies and enter into the body of Lord Chaitanya. And he turns a dark, 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 dark color. And he asks all of his devotees, "How do I look now?" They say, "Oh, my Lord, you look like Sham." He says, this is the result of chanting the holy name. I will take all offenses. I will take all of the sins, considering no offenses, holding nothing against anyone. I will gladly take on all of the sins from those who just once with faith chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And then he instructs everyone to begin kirtan. And through that uproarious kirtan, the golden color of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returns.
You know, that pastime has so many, should we say, principles for us to take and imbibe in our lives. And for those that are just joining right now, we want to say happy Lord Nityananda's appearance day, first of all, to you all. Also, we are talking about the divine known as Lord Nityananda and all his qualities. And sometimes when we talk about the qualities of the divine, you know what it does? It helps to lighten our hearts, number one. And secondly, it makes us more appreciative. So we really wanted to do that today. We wanted to talk about Lord Nityananda because it's his appearance day today on Power of Prayer Thursdays. We're having Power of Prayer Thursdays on Lord Nityananda's appearance day. That doesn't happen often. It probably won't happen again for many moons because we do actually follow the lunar calendar, not the Gregorian calendar. So it probably won't happen again. So it's really, really great that we can talk. But the one thing that I really take away from this, and I'm going to look at some comments in a second as well from everybody coming in, is this aspect of in life today, when the smallest thing happens to us, we have this aspect of, hey, that person took my rubber or my pencil. Oh, I won't forgive him for that. You know, these smallest things. Here, and I'm sure those at school will know what I'm talking about. but here, this person is about to take the life of Lord Nityananda. But what does he do? Don't worry about me. I just want to give you the love. It's like here, the biggest hate is coming. And on the other side, it's not even just turning the other cheek. He's looking directly at him and saying, I love you. I whatever you've done, I still love you. And I want the best for you. Now, if everybody on the planet was like that, what a beautiful world we would live in.
Yeah. And, you know, it's like you said, it's so hopeful. It's so incredibly hopeful for us because, you know, we get in touch with our false humility, right? We start to think, oh, I'm so low, I'm so fallen. I don't, you know, I can't chant every day, all these things, you know, we get into the pity party with ourselves about how imperfect we are. Jagai and Madai were actually truly imperfect, right? We are not doing the things that Jagai and Madai have done. And even if you find yourself in a prison right now, and you are currently in a situation where you have done things that you are not proud of, they're probably not all on the list of things that Jagai and Madai had done. And does the divine turn around and walk away from you? No. Here is Nitai running toward those people, running toward them, wanting to give them the mercy, saying they need it more. They need it the most. Everybody who's just, you know, lacking time and a desire, but these people, they need it most. They are so caught up in so many of their desires and so many of their actions that are now reaping karmic reactions. They need this mercy. The divine does not forget any of us. And it gives us so much hope because, of course, we are not on the level of Jagai and Madai. That means we are eligible. If Jagai and Madai could have made it, and so in so many songs, in the words of Narottam Das Thakur, Tara Shakshi Jagai Madai. Jagai and Madai are the evidence. They are the witnesses to the mercy of the divine. They become forever an example of what can happen in a moment of prayer and surrender.
Yes. You know, and anybody just joining, we're talking about Lord Nityananda, and today is his appearance day, and just his qualities and how it's reflecting on life right now for us. And I've since seen a comment from Manjari for Life. She says, if God can forgive others of their greatest sin, then surely we can forgive ourselves of everything we've done and give ourselves permission to take up this bliss giving process. Wow. Yes, Manjari for Life. Really nice. Thank you. And then Paras Singal 21, who brought up about Jagai Madai. Thank you, Paras. He says, I had a realization how we in this age are even lower than the fallen Jagai Madai. And still we have them. That's a good question. And
have you murdered today?
yeah, that's a good point.
Because if you haven't murdered today, then we have to acknowledge our actual position. See, that's that thing.
Yes, yeah, and guys, yeah, when we talk about Jagai Madai, they were really, you're talking about really down there.
Like, yeah, I mean, we beautify it, we romanticize it, but Jagai Madai were literally murdering people on a daily basis. They were thugs. Okay, so for us to say we are lower than Jagai Madai, that's why I asked the question: are we really? Because we're not. We have to understand the greatness of Jagai Madai. They were Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. They were actual demons. I'm just one little jiva struggling with my mind to chant the holy names. Okay, so I feel like, if they can do it, if they can overcome nature and previous births and all of these obstacles, surely, which I think, I think that's the whole point that Barsango was getting to, that surely we can bring it within ourselves to be able to take up this process.
100%. I think. Sonam, thank you so much as well. Mercy, mercy, mercy. Lord Nityananda petitioning on their behalf. Who can be merciful like Nitai? Yes. And Nityananda, some don't know, another loving affection name for him is Nitai, as you heard. Somebody's asking to be followed. Yes, please follow Lord Nityananda. Chakra. Oh, Prabhupada, only Prabhupada. And we have my friend Darren Mahesh Hayward on here as well today. Darren, big Haribol to you. This guy, talk about austerity. He goes every day to the sea, even in the winter over here, and then takes a dip. So thank you for that, amazing inspiration. And I'm looking here, we've got people as well joining from different parts of the world. And just so we just want to get a bit of interactivity going on here. Where are you in the world? Let's just check. I want to see. Last time we had people from different parts coming up. I want to see who's from who. Where are you from?
Yeah.
Where's
this is actually service. If you tell us where you're from, because Lord Nityananda, it was him that prophesied that, oh my Lord, your holy names will be chanted in every town and village across this entire planet.
Wow!
So you get to show us.
Mumbai.
Yeah, you get to show us. The
Las
prophecy
Vegas.
of Lord Nityananda.
Las Vegas, mate. That's a good place.
Sin
Ottawa,
City,
Canada.
Okay?
We got Bangalore, India. Reppin, India. Ottawa, like I said, yeah. And then we got India. We got Bruj, so Vrindavan itself. Wow. UK. Hey.
Yeah, we had from New Zealand earlier.
We have Chennai. We have Tanzania, East Africa, India, Fiji. I'm just looking. Trinidad's on here as well. Siam Rit Love is from there. In North Carolina, DC, I'm looking here. We're watching from the great, watching from the USA, Pittsburgh, South Africa is on as well. Sarika, yes, and we got Radhika Suku from there. Delhi, India, thank you so much. Devon, I want to go, Devon. Tell me how it is over there, since I wasn't able to leave the country for some time. Trinidad, UK, I'm just looking. Kenya, I'm looking. Colombia, we got Colombia. Muscat, Florida. Hey, I love Florida.
Hey, wow.
And we got Sharjah as well, UAE. I'm just looking at our Insta friends. We're looking over here, looking at the Facebook friends. Colombia. Wow. What's this? Cali is the city.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Peterborough. Hey, UK. Finland. One person said Radha Govindan, NYC.
Okay.
That's your place. Crawley, UK. Whoa, who's that? Jay Prakash. Nice. Melbourne, Australia.
Wow,
Oh,
it's late for you in Melbourne. Thank you.
Wow, we are covering the globe here today. We've got our family, our international family, and we just proven that just by doing that little check. Hey, we got Dubai as well.
I gotta say, Melbourne is, I think they win, because for them, isn't it like 2, 3 in the morning for you? Whew,
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 2, 3 in the morning for Melbourne. So thank you.
Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for your support. And thank you to all of you. We do this because of your love and your support. We can do this. So thank you for your encouragement. And today is a special, and this is what it's about. See, before they had to go door to door, talk about the glories, talk about the love. And what we're doing here is on the internet, we are all coming together like a massive international digital sangha talking about the divine, and I think that's just, it gives me goosebumps sometimes thinking of that the way we're talking about. And this is what the divine wants. He wants everyone to get together and then lovingly exchange, the pastimes at the same time. Think about the divine and whoever that divine is for you. We're talking about Lord Nityananda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna here. But if you have another divine, think about them. Think about what they mean to you and make it strong. This is your day. This is the day to do it. Remember, he represents Guru. And Guru is the person that will help us connect to the divine. So please have that thought. So I've got here, Parasingo. So grateful for you guys. Well, we're grateful you're here. And Radhika Soku. Really appreciate that. So let's have some questions, I would say. Okay, now we're going to get into it. Before we have some kirtan, I want to see some questions. So if anybody's got any questions, instead of me asking, please do put. Actually, I've got something here.
Yeah, do you remember Chandrika?
Yes, Chandrika. I remember
during Purushottam Mas. I think we were praying for her mom, and we were saying that she was fasting, and so then she was saying that her mom passed away 2 days after. But I am sure it was so auspicious because of the time period, because of that power-packed time. It was so auspicious. So please know that our prayers are with you.
He was fasting in that auspicious time. Done it knowingly or unknowingly, the benefit is there. And thank you so much, Chandrika, for coming on. And we hope you are well and staying safe in these times as well. So thank you so much. And I'm going down here. I'm looking, going back to the Insta family, coming to the FB family. Right. So I'm going to just quickly have a quick scan before I ask. Okay. Yeah, Manjari for life. We went through that. Going steady. Go steady on the Gita. Okay. So I want to just ask, what qualities do you feel, Acyuta Gopi, that we should try to? Of course, we cannot imitate the divine. But what qualities should we try to imbibe in ourselves, especially in this day and age that we're living from the teachings, what you're talking from Lord Nityananda?
Yeah. It's so difficult to try and imitate, right? Because that level of humility, that level of compassion, that level of forgiveness and mercy, it's at a divine level. It's at the level of the top. Only the divine can embody that much of it. But in quality, perhaps not in quantity, we can draw upon those same kinds of qualities that are embedded within the divine. Because really, honestly, the divine lives within each and every single heart. So we are not without the propensity for divine qualities, right? We are not devoid completely of being able to acquire those kinds of qualities. But the quantity is definitely going to fluctuate. So that humility, that kind of compassion, that kind of magnanimity and forgiveness, it's said wide and far, Lord Nityananda never gets angry. This is the same Balaram who would kill people for less, But now Lord Nityananda is just saying, take all this mercy, take all this mercy, take it, make your life better. We can somehow strive to make the lives of others better with our presence. We can just somehow, through our own process of devotion, just through taking up this devotional process with all our hearts and souls, we can strive to make the lives of others better. And the inspiration will come. That inspiration will divinely come to us. We might think, I don't know how, I don't know when, but next thing you know, we might just want to take up devotion. We might find ourselves chanting sincerely. And then next thing you know, there's like a live show with Power of Prayer Thursdays.
Look at that. That is that. I like that.
Yeah, we can take up the desire to really want to bring these qualities into our lives. We might think, I want to be humble, but sometimes I know I'm lacking. I know I get prideful, but that sincere desire is key. We might think, I want to be compassionate and I want to be forgiving, but that is so difficult. But the desire first is the key.
There we go.
And then
Desire
we draw.
is the key.
Yeah, the desire is the key. And then we draw on that power of prayer.
Thank you so much. And I've got Christina 2020 on our Instagram. She's asked a question. If you have done something bad in life, how do you rectify it? How do you avoid bad karma in your life? Very good question. Acyuta Gopi, what's your thoughts on that?
So quickly, the most amazing thing about devotional service, it says within the nectar of devotion, is that doing devotional service, when they talk about addiction, right, you have to first acknowledge that you have an issue. So first is acknowledging that we have done the thing. Then we have to also not just stop ourselves from doing the bad thing, but we have to root out the cause. Right? We have to go to the seed. We have to go to the heart of the matter, find out what's causing us to do these things, and then root out that cause. So devotional service not only takes away sins and bad karma, but it stops the karma from happening in the first place. It goes to the root of why we would desire to engage ourselves in entangling situations. So when we think about bad things, people are not just bad or good. Right? We all have a deep yearning or a desire. Sometimes that desire is for love. Sometimes that desire is to be understood. Sometimes that desire is to be seen, to be heard, to be felt by another. And then when we lack that desire from contemplating the objects of the senses, right? Bhagavad Gita tells us lust develops. That's desire. There's a desire for something. When we're lacking that desire, then we get all of this. We get aggressive tendencies. We get bewilderment, loss of memory. We don't even know why we do the bad things we do anymore. But through this process of devotional service, through trying to serve the divine, through chanting, through even just remembering, through the power of prayer, we get to the root. See, we get to the root of why we do this. We want to be understood. We get to be understood by the divine. And the reciprocation that we get from that is so fulfilling that we find ourselves with a higher taste. We no longer are desiring all those base things, and we're more able to control our desires and urges, which stops us from committing the bad things and also stops us from incurring more karma. And it eradicates the karma that's already there.
So, on this question, because Nandita has asked a question, even when we are getting closer and closer to Krishna, why sometimes grief grips us? Why doesn't it vanish on its own? How to overcome Maya? So I feel like this is now leading out. It's nice how this has worked, because now we're going
Yeah,
this way, you know. So
right?
yeah. So what about on this part? Because this is a
Yeah.
I can relate to this. So yeah.
So can I, right? We think, I'm going to chant Hare Krishna. I'm going to give my life to Krishna. So I just want to ask a question. Is there anyone at all in this material world who has been in this material world who has not had to encounter grief and suffering?
Oh, if you
Anyone?
haven't, yeah. Okay, I can see there's somebody's put 3 hands up. A Gopi sketch. Yes, relatable. Okay, yes. Not they're not putting their hands up for
Yeah,
they
yeah.
haven't gone through any
Yeah,
grief.
I mean, if we think about Lord Ram, did he have grief and suffering?
Yes.
He's God. When we think about Krishna, he had grief and suffering. Lord Nityananda got hit in the head, was bleeding profusely. Grief and suffering. So even God. So what is this showing us? This material world works this way. It's the way of the material world. The only way to overcome all of the Maya is, one, surrender to Krishna, because she also is devoted to him, and then get out of this material world. We will never find a way out of this material situation while in the material situation. We have to get out of it.
That's
So
why we
it's
do.
natural.
Yeah, that's a good point. Astro traveling, getting out this world. We're trying to do from yoga, meditation, etc. That does. And by the way, when we talk about getting out this world, we're not talking about escapism. You
No.
know, this is really important. It's not about, oh God, I've had enough of this world. What we should be, yes, we're part of this world. You do your duty. We do the best we can. We be the best person we can. But at the same time, we need to know that this is all temporary. That whatever starts will come to an end. There is a more eternal place. And what we want to do is connect ourselves more with that eternality. And that's what we're talking about here. That this world has been designed so we can enjoy to a certain extent. But at the same time, with anything that we have enjoyment, there's a caveat. The more and more we enjoy, the more and more we desire, the more and more we start to, hanker. And that's what this world's about. It's about enjoyment without the divine. And that's why we're on this planet. So by thinking of the divine while we are on this planet, we are now making that connection. So try to keep that in mind. And I'm just looking at, we've had some other questions. Apologies if I could not get through to everybody, but I've got this really nice one from Shruti. Nitai Gaur are so merciful. If we take Lord Nityananda Gauranga names daily, definitely we will progress in bhakti and mitigate Vaishnava aparad. So aparad, offenses to others that we're talking about here, being good people. Just wanted to know your view on this. Nice. Right.
Interestingly enough, there is one section within the Sri Chaitanya Mangala, which is on the life and pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And somebody comes to Sri Chaitanya and they say, I have committed so many offenses against other Vaishnavas. I used to talk bad about them every day. What can I do? Lord Chaitanya says, I'm merciful. But if you commit offenses toward other Vaishnavas, even my name can't save you. I can't help you. There were people who were afflicted with leprosy, right? Due to their offenses against devotees. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, Lord Sri Chaitanya says something incredibly strong. There's one person, this Chapal Gopal, and he says, for those who blaspheme and offend my devotees, I will punish them with the weapon of the holy name, which is a little bit like, what? So now the weapon, the holy name, is not just a deliverer, but is also a deliverer of justice. So what is the actual way to mitigate this Vaishnava aparad, these offenses against others? They say, if you commit offenses toward Vaishnavas, you drink poison. The cure for poison is with the same mouth that you have drunk the poison. Now you must drink the nectar of glorifying those same Vaishnavas.
Yep.
So the way to mitigate the Vaishnava aparad is you have to glorify Vaishnavas, particularly the ones that you've offended. Also, you have to try not to keep doing it, which is hard in social media, isn't it? You know, we fire off an internet response, done.
That's it, done.
But what have we actually done to our insides, to our spiritual plant, right? If we think of our heart as a garden, a spiritual garden, we have all of our tender plants that we're planting. What have we done to our garden? We've completely uprooted the entire thing. So one small act, we have to make sure that we are, of course, we can always practice silence, right? That's always an austerity. Austerity of speech.
Oh God. So there we go. And we've got so many questions. I think what we'll do is because we want to do a little bit of kirtan, but Barbie, I've recognized your question. And maybe on another session we can talk about this, and that's to do with how do we know there is another world after death?
Wow, yeah, that should be our next power of prayer. Like our power of prayer Thursday should be life after death.
Life after death. Okay, so there we go, Barbie.
Oh, it's gonna be so good. We're gonna talk about Ajamil.
So join in there, and then also I've just maybe a very, very quick one. And maybe we can link this to Kirtan. Amisha Singh's asking, kindly, if you like, please, can you answer my question? How to approach Nitai? How to approach him?
Okay.
I wonder.
It's going to be so simple, right? Nitai says the best thing for him. Bhaja Gauranga, Kaha Gauranga, Laha Gauranger Naam Re. Jai Jana Gauranga Bhaje, Shehai Amar Pran Re. Those who worship Gauranga, take the name of Gauranga and tell others about Gauranga. Just one time, if you say this name Gauranga with love in your eyes, that person becomes my very life and soul. If you want to approach Nitai, just once. You say, oh Nitai, I want to approach you. And so you call out Gauranga, Gauranga.
Gauranga. There we are. So Gauranga, Gauranga. That's all you have to do, Amisha. Take that on. And on that note, let's have, if we can have some kirtan on this most auspicious day, please, Acyuta Gopi, transcend us from this place. Hare Krishna.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Nityananda Vadutandu Vashoda Pranavallabha Janava Jivita Pati Krishna Prema Prada Prabhu Padmavati Sutta Shriman Sachinandana Purvaja Bhavan Matta Jagatrata Rakta Gaura Kalevara Parama Karuna Bahud Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra Parama Karuna Krishna Bahud Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra Savayavata Sharashiramani Kevala Nanda Kanda Parama Karuna Bahud Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra. The two lords, Nitai Gaura Chandra, are supremely merciful. They are the essence of all incarnations. And they introduce the process of chanting and dancing that is simply joyful. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Gaura Haribo.
Thank you so much for that lovely chantings of the Lord Nityananda's names and also the divine pastimes we've had today. It's been great. And thank you to everybody for joining. These power prayers, it just feels like, for me, it's nourishment to the heart. So thank you so much for that, Acyuta Gopi. And before we go, I have to say thanks to Ahovila for his lovely comments that are coming in. He's been there in the back. And also, I want to just say, everybody, power of prayer, it's happening because of the realizations that are coming from Acyuta Gopi. And check out her book. This is a day to buy if you want a copy. www.mybook.to/prema, Prema. Check it out. And you know what? Connect with us. We're humans. We get back. Promise you. So connect with us. Why don't you? If you want to know more, I saw somebody wanted to know more about the Gita. So just please connect. You can get in touch with Acyuta Gopi. It's going on the bottom of the page right now. So it's Govinda's girl _lowercase Gopi. But if you just type in Acyuta Gopi, Acyuta Gopi, it will bring it up. And she'll come up on the different areas. And myself, Jagannath Kirtanananda is my full name, but here we have it. My tag name is Jagannath Dasa. So Jagannath _Dasa on Instagram, or you can find me on YouTube as well. So those are the two places. So on that basis, we just want to say thank you. Have a great day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. And I hope it's, you've also relished the thoughts of speaking about Lord Nityananda today. And thank you, Acyuta Gopi, for joining me again.
Thank you.
And we'll see you soon, everybody. Hare Krishna.